Oh, sweet. Hey, how are you?
Oh,
Hey,
hey.
how are you? Emily, why didn't you get your last name?
Beardmore, Beardmo. Yeah, Beardmore.
More.
Like your beard, but I want more of it.
All right. And what is your title, Emily? Because I just met you last night. I don't know anything about you. She tried to tell me what she does, and I said, nope.
You're
I'll
coming on to
save it for
the
tomorrow.
show. So, marketing events manager for the Downtown Management District. So, basically, my job is bringing cool events and people to Downtown Corpus Christi.
Okay, so Downtown Management District.
District,
So I guess, is that like an office downtown, or is that a new thing, or something been around for a long time?
It's actually been around for, I think we started our organization in 1992, so it's been around for a while. We're in our 10-year renewal, so we're a quasi-governmental entity, and we are contracted. We work closely to the city, the county, and then all the downtown stakeholders, of course. We work within the Marina Arts District, and we have a lot of different mission elements. I'm just one mission element. I'm just marketing and events, but we've got
It's the fun stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
Bingo. No, there's also like economic development brings all the businesses to downtown
Sure.
and make sure the businesses are thriving. And then we have district ops who keeps it all clean and makes it paints the curbs and helps with the landscaping. And basically, we're just a glorified, beautiful neighborhood to want to have your business in. So we have all the amenities to help make that.
Well, that plays a big part, especially with our downtown that's gone through so many different phases, where at one point it was bumping. In
Right.
Chaparral,
Right.
there's a lot of different retail spaces that had clubs and restaurants and just different shopping centers. I love seeing the old photos. Speaking of Throwback Thursday, I love seeing the old photos that when you go down to the Museum, Natural Science and History,
Right.
or Caller Times will do like these little articles sometimes, or even on YouTube, there's a guy that has just a ton of photos, and he goes, here's the 1940s.
Throwbacks.
And you see downtown, and you see all the different retail shops and
Right.
Ritz Theater and all these different things. You're like, how is it so busy back then?
Right.
And what happened? Like,
Right.
what happened over the decades where people, I'm assuming, started moving to the south side, started moving to other areas, and just kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
But lately, I've been spending a lot of time downtown, and I've seen the differences. So those pretty flowers and curbs you're talking about, and the palm trees, the lights on it, people notice.
Right, right.
And so do you feel that, let's go back. How big is this organization? How big is the group?
We've got 12 full-time staff, 3 interns that are amazing. They're all with TMUCC. And then we have a clean team that is the guys in the blue polos that are cleaning everything downtown of about 8 staff. So
Okay.
it's a dynamic, powerful organization, but it's actually relatively small if you think about really what we're actually able to do. But I do want to preface also, too, I just moved to Corpus Christi in May of last year.
Oh, wow.
So I'm a newbie for
Did
sure.
you know
to
anything
Corpus
about
Christi.
Corpus?
I knew that there was a beautiful beach. I knew that there's a job that I really wanted here,
Yeah.
which is what I got.
Well, are you from Texas?
I'm from Houston area.
Your whole life,
Sugarland.
like you woke up?
Yep,
I
grew
woke
up
up.
there.
You were brought up there?
Yep, I was.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
So
but
you
I
never visited Corpus prior?
I went to Galveston more often just because the drive was more convenient for Houston.
Sure.
I played beach volleyball, and that was just where I was at. But I did do Corpus, and the way that I kind of saw Corpus Christi prior to me moving here was it was a prettier beach in Texas. And now after moving here and being here for a year, so my job is to like gather information. So I know a lot about the city already, more than a lot of people would, just because I have to. But I'm just really, really, really impressed with the energy, the momentum that Corpus Christi has. I love that the downtown is right on the water. Like a lot of that's what other downtowns really have
People
that
don't have
besides
that.
California,
Have you ever,
Florida.
I was going to ask you, have you ever been to San Diego, California?
I've never been to San Diego.
I
wanna go
always
to San
tell
Diego.
people, make the same joke every time. Jessica's heard it a million times. This is Jessica, by the way.
I met her.
San Diego is like Corpus
Yeah.
if it was on steroids.
Right,
Very
100%.
similar layout of the downtown
Right.
by the water. It's got the naval bases. It's got all the different
Right.
things that kind of we have. It's just that they've done so much with it.
Yeah.
And so as someone in real estate, I have these thoughts that run through my brain all the time. Again, because I see these empty buildings and I see so much potential and just empty
Right.
lots. And you go to cities like San Antonio and they're doing so much with a river. Why can't we do that with
With
an ocean?
the beach, the bay,
And we
yeah.
have the retail spaces.
Right.
What do you think? And I'm not sure how involved you are in it. What do you think stopping people from taking over those spaces? Is
Right.
it the owners that are just maybe having crazy prices, crazy terms? Or is it just having the people that say, hey, I'm going to go buy that building in the corner. It's 4,000 square feet. Here's what I'm going to do.
So not economic development department, but intuitively and just kind of what I've heard through talking in the organization, the properties on the water are going to be more expensive, but comparable to like Cali and Florida, Corpus Christi is a hidden gem with amazing prices. So I don't know necessarily what is stopping them from going up closer to the water, but I would say that just right now, people are seeing and finding downtown Corpus Christi. Like just in the last week, we got 5 new projects signed on to come. We have $35 million in investment dollars coming to downtown Corpus Christi. So there's some crazy energy that is picking back up.
Out of those projects, what's something you're excited about?
All of them.
She's got
but
notes. I love this. You're the first person that's ever brought physical notes.
I bring notes. I have to have notes. There's a lot of stuff.
Go
so
ahead.
I want to make
Well,
sure.
that's fine.
We have 605 Elite, which is a new luxury bar and restaurant with a cocktail garden.
605 Elite. Is that the address, I'm guessing?
It is the address, but
It
it's
is,
also,
right?
I don't know if that's going to be the name or not.
Whenever you see the number and a name.
Actually, no, it's the name. It's the name. And then it's actually going to be at 605 Mesquite Street.
Well, yes, that's what I'm saying. It's the number is part of the address.
Makes it easier.
Yeah, 605 Mesquite. So that's to the left of Brandon and Mesquite Street Pizza?
I don't know.
Oh, didn't we just sell that building? Oh, cool. We just sold the building.
Are you a part of this project?
Awesome.
Number 2 is Gallery 41. I'm more familiar with this. This is inside the Art Center of Corpus Christi, and it's actually done by a local catering company. Is the one that's doing it now, a full-flown restaurant. And
nice.
I just partner with them for State of Downtown. They do gourmet. They have an amazing team. They have great top-of-the-line chefs, so it's going to be something that's very
What's
elegant.
that one called?
It's called Gallery 41 inside the Art Center. It's going to have a
I
waterfront
get confused.
view.
Art Center is the one near Whataburger, not the art museum, right?
Correct.
Okay.
It's closer to Whataburger. Art Museum's all the way over closer to the bridge. Yep.
Yeah, I was there a couple weeks ago. They did her name's I forget, is it Allison? She invited me because they do like portraits.
Cool.
And so I got to be the guinea pig for 3 hours. That sat
Were you the
there.
model that just sat
I was
there?
the model, yeah. So I just
Hopefully
sat
clothed?
there like this. Yes. I wasn't like Rose from Titanic. And there's just people. So it's really cool. It was nice talking to the people there. And you can tell they have a big love for downtown, too.
Totally.
They hadn't heard about the Central Kitchen, the one that Water Street just opened up.
Yeah, 100%.
And I brought them a bunch of pastries. For anybody that hasn't been there, wonderful little place for breakfast, pastries, a lot of stuff I wanted to try. I didn't get to try yet. But
Right.
that's a really cool place. And so, of course, the Lomaxes, they own that little block.
Right.
Who have you got a chance to meet in your time here so far that you feel like, okay, this person's going to keep pushing the bar?
Oh my goodness. So definitely the team over at Water Street, Richard is driving it, because Brad is like, okay, I'm going to pass the baton. He passed the baton. Richard picked up really quickly and then helped to not only kind of maintain the renovation of Surf Club, but also develop Central Kitchen. And he's got a Mexican restaurant in the works.
Really? Downtown?
Yeah. So he not only took the baton and started running with it, he's sprinting, he's opening a lot of stuff. He's big on quality. He's big on bringing in, I guess, very talented people that want to celebrate the Corpus Christi culture too.
Yeah.
So Richard Lomax is one of them, and his entire team. And then there's someone.
Do you have any more? I like Mexican food. Do you have any details on the Mexican restaurant?
All I know is that it's more gourmet than you would expect, which is good.
Okay. And it's going to be downtown.
It's going to be downtown.
Okay.
It's going to be, if you know Water Street Garden, it's between Water Street Garden and Surf Club, that area, indoor. It used to be the Water Street Seafood Room, I believe was the title of it.
So the one that Surf Club was recently in temporarily.
Correct. Temporary,
Okay.
yep.
And what's that little courtyard area there?
That's called the Water Street
I'm
Garden.
like asking all these questions.
I know,
like,
you're
you know
diving
every
in.
single building. I'm like, damn, it's like she knows every
But
single
I
building.
want to make sure that I'm giving all the facts.
It's okay if you don't.
Check your
That's
facts,
still
check
good
your
question.
resources, people. Check your references.
The building they tore down in between, it's like near Water Street. It's on Chaparral.
Right.
It's in the parking lot of Water Street and
Right.
Chaparral. What is that going to be eventually?
That's Water Street Garden. That right now is.
Oh, so that is Water Street
It's Water Street Garden, and it's if I'm thinking the open air concept with the landscaping.
Yeah, but they've done it up for events I've seen. And
It's
put
definitely
lights
for
out there.
events. So they're using more of their banquet arms for that. So if you want to have your wedding there, a rehearsal dinner, or your corporate dinner, we had one of our holiday mixers there.
Really?
Beautiful space. The landscaping was done by someone out of San Antonio, and it's just kind of like a nice little hidden nook. So yeah, that's Water Street. They have a pop-up bar. They've got cool fountains there. So it's just a really cool atmosphere.
Okay, so pop-up question on, just out of nowhere question on Chaparral, because I know people are going to ask me, hey, how come Stingers closed down? And how come there's not another club there? So that whole section from on like the other side of Surf Club, which is Chaparral, used to be Stingers, Dick's, Club Oxygen, it was like the New Orleans bar, whatever that was, and then Club One. How is it that whole block is empty? Have you heard anything about that stuff?
Again, check your references, check your resources, but Homewood Suites actually is coming in. So that
Really?
the owners of that block decided we want to do a hotel. So they kind of held it out for a while, and now they're actually, Homewood Suites is the project that just got approved on Tuesday.
The whole thing?
They're going to tear it down. Not the whole block, not the
Oh,
whole block. It's
wow.
only from the 2-story, what you would call in the New Orleans looking vibe.
Yeah, what? Mesquite Street.
There
What was
all the
that-
way
what was
to
it called?
Lomax.
I know. David, what was that club that used to be on
Aria?
Chaparral? No. It used to be like a New Orleans bar. He's not here. Nobody's here. I'm talking to myself.
I was like, I don't think anyone. Yeah.
Someone shouted. It's okay. So that
Not the entire
part
block, though.
is going to be. They're going to build up. I'm assuming.
They're going to build up. It's Homewood Suites, 100%. And they're going to have a beautiful rooftop garden, rooftop bar. I'm trying to reserve the first floor for retail, just to allow for more of those businesses.
That's something I've seen in different cities. Like I've
Right.
have you ever been to Denver?
I've been to Denver.
And Denver has some really cool retail /
Right.
residential /
Right.
hotel where you go downstairs, you're like 1 second you're walking through a market with like fresh produce and
Right.
meat, and then you're like in a gift shop, and then you're in an art gallery.
Yeah.
You're like, how the hell did I just? Where am I?
Movement,
And
always
so
something to do.
It's nice to have those retail shops because it seems like, especially back in like the 1920s to 50s in bigger metropolitan places, you always had that retail
Right.
at the bottom to bring people in, and
Right.
then you had people living above you. It was just the
Right.
norm, and now people are like, I don't want to live above a T-Mobile. It's like, who cares? Like,
I
you're
love
in a,
it.
you're in
Yeah.
a nice spot. Like,
yeah. Maybe not T-Mobile, but I'll live above like a record shop or something
yeah.
cool.
Okay. So Homewood Suites. Okay. Anything else in that block you can think of?
So Lazy Beach Brewing, as you guys know, they have a location in Corpus, but they're
Yeah.
having their second location
Really?
in downtown.
Good for them.
And then also, this is kind of cool. So OK Hi-Fi is a new bar that is coming onto People Street. So if you've seen the People Street between Mesquite and Lomax, there's a
Yeah.
whole vibe going on there.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
all dusty.
The point,
Yeah.
dusty, hybrid. Now VNP Gallery, which is a new thrift shop.
Mm-hmm.
So they are now going to have the OK Hi-Fi bar, which is going to be a whiskey lounge.
Cool.
Actually, like a Japanese whiskey lounge.
Uh-huh.
So it's going to be right next to Hybrid Records, and so it's going to be OK Hi-Fi and Hybrid Records. They're now going to have a parklet. So I don't know if you guys have seen like
What's a
bigger
parklet?
So we have them in Corpus, and bigger cities really took the initiative to do a lot more parklets during COVID. I don't know if you guys kind of saw a lot of people downtowns were closing down streets and making it more open air. You can walk on the streets just to allow people to not be inside the venues. So I guess silver lining with COVID was parklets were really invented and really grasped for downtown communities.
You're saying parklet. What's a parklet?
A parklet is you take over like some parking spaces on the street
Oh, okay.
and make
Or-
it into a really cool
Yeah.
covered area.
Like in front of
for
Lucy's,
guests.
they have that little area, right?
Exactly.
I got you.
And
Okay.
Rebel Toad has one that they're about to
Yes.
enhance a little bit more. But
Sweet.
yeah.
Wow,
that's it.
you've already said quite a bit.
Information
that I
overload.
didn't know was happening
Yeah.
in downtown. I think
Yeah.
a lot of people get excited about that because I mentioned it yesterday when I met you that I've been spending a lot more time downtown strictly because I've been going to the run club. I'm training for a marathon. I was like, I want to go to the run club. And Armando's a great guy, and he's a client of mine. He's like, come down. Always invited me and never went. Finally went, and now I think I'm going like 6 or 7 weeks in a row where I've been seeing a lot of downtown, and then on the weekends I'm going down there. So
Right.
it is nice to see these things happening.
Yeah.
I've always had a dream, and I still have that dream that me and my cousin always joke we're going to open up a steakhouse.
Let's
and
talk.
I want like
I'll connect you with
a
our
shotgun building where it looks like something that's never been updated. Like you said, the exposed concrete like the way this
Love,
is.
yeah.
And just have something really super cool where it's called Chris and Gino's.
Love. I'm writing
and
it down.
Anytime I've ever been to a steak restaurant that was delicious, it was always 2 guys' names, Nick and Sam's, Vic and Anthony's. It's always like that. So Chris and Gino's. And just that way people have options downtown.
I love
and
it.
I think that's part of bringing downtown back. Homewood Suites is nice. What about residential? Anything coming soon?
I don't have anything written down here on these notes that I want to talk about,
You
but
can
I know
talk
there's
about
like
stuff you've heard.
yeah, the Princess Lofts, the Princess apartments are coming in. I don't have enough information to give that, but I do
Okay.
know that that's a big buzz, right? So we just recently did a documentary where we interviewed a bunch of the current business owners.
Who did the documentary? What do you mean?
DMD downtown.
Oh, really?
We just did like a miniature documentary. We aired it at State of Downtown, which is one of
Really?
our events.
Is it?
We're doing a lot of
Can
stuff.
you access it through like online?
You
or
can go
YouTube?
actually onto YouTube and just type in State of Downtown documentary. You can go through our Instagram. It's on our link tree. So if you just go into our downtown.
We'll link that on the YouTube and on Spotify. I want to see that. That's really
Yeah,
cool. Okay.
Yeah. It's documentary business owners. We interviewed them, and we were just talking about how downtown has changed in the last 10 years. And we had some really cool, fun stories, but really also, too, we were like, what do you want to see in the next 10 years? And
Yeah.
a majority of them were saying just more residents. And like just from our end as the DMD, as the management district, we don't really think about that. But, all the business owners were saying, we want that consistent traffic flow. We want those people who feel like they're really the neighborhood, the neighbors. So a lot of the business owners are pushing for, and really more, not pushing, but promoting us bringing in more residential properties. So I know that there are some in the works. Don't have any details for you, but
Well, I figure there's got to
on
be
the
a
radar.
balance.
Right.
Like it can't all be fun stuff.
Right.
It has to be normal people stuff,
Right.
groceries, getting a haircut, like a gas station, like just
Right.
the simple things that people need to sustain regular living. Is there anything else you're excited about that's coming pretty soon? Because you've only been here a year.
I know.
And you seem to know quite a bit of the downtown area. Is it
I
only
have
downtown?
to.
Like, once you get past SBID, you're like,
I
where
don't
the
know
hell
anything
am I?
that's going on at Staple Street. I'm so confused. I've lost. No, I live Southside now, but
Okay.
yeah. So what we do is all downtown. It's the Marina Arts District, basically from Kenny Street to I-37, and then from Broadway, Lower Broadway to the water.
So you're over there like the C District too, right? Or no?
The C District is part of a different boundary that we have, but we do a lot of promotion for that C District.
That's a different crew?
It's a different crew, but we do a lot of promotion for it with our team, only because it brings so many people to. American Bank Center is like crushing it with all these new shows they're bringing in.
Yeah.
The Art Museum is crushing it. They're doing amazing. So anytime that they have something big going on, we naturally promote it because they bring all the people. And then afterwards, where are these people going?
Yeah.
Or before, where
Give
are
'em
they
somewhere to go.
eating? So we give them some love as well.
Very
but
cool.
yeah.
I'm all about real estate's one of those jobs. I'm not sure how much you know about real estate. It's really about connecting the dots sometimes.
Right.
And sometimes you don't know how you're going to connect them, and it's just out of nowhere. There's times where someone's like, I'm looking for this particular house, da-da-da-da. I'm like, cool, it's in the back of my head. And then randomly, a couple days later or weeks later, I might be talking to someone. Someone says, hey, I need to sell my house. It's da-da-da. I was like, hold up. I know the guy, and I call
Right.
the guy, and it works out, right?
Right.
And so last night, and I told Jessica this, and I told everybody last night, it was really odd that I finish a run. I run into you. I was grabbing a water. I'm like, oh, hey, you work for so-and-so. You should come on. And then same night, last night, I go to Goldfish, which is around the corner.
Yep.
And I go eat some barbecue. It's, Full Send's opening up, by the way.
Yeah.
You mentioned Full Send. Full Send.
Shout out.
Barbecue. I love going there on Wednesdays. And so I'm eating, and a friend of mine comes up randomly. And he's like, hey, bro, come here. Come here. I was like, what's up? He's like, hey, I got this friend on the phone. I'm not going to say too many details. He's from out of state, and he wants to buy some real estate down here downtown. He wants 3 blocks. I was like, what does he want to do? And he starts showing me on TikTok different bars he owns, speakeasies, different places he has downtown. He's like, he wants to do something like this. He's got the money. What do you got? I go, man, I just met somebody that might have an in on some of these properties or some of these different things going on, so that
Right.
way we're not stepping on anybody else's toes, but also we're looking out for opportunities. So it's one of those things when you have people that come in, are they from here or are they people from out of town?
We're seeing a lot. We definitely love the locals. We want to be able to offer them some cool spaces, but we're seeing a lot of people coming in from San Antonio, larger cities that are kind of like within driving distance, Houston. We have a lot of expats too. So
What's
one guy, expat is someone who was born and raised in Corpus Christi, goes out, am I too far? Goes out, experiences the world, and then comes back. So expats for a community are gold because they go, they've seen the world.
They see the vision, they see what's out there. Yeah.
So we have one expat, and I don't know if I'm jumping from your original
No.
question. Yeah, like one of your questions was like, who are you excited about? We have an expat that just moved back to Corpus. He has businesses, an entire production company, and a gallery in Las Vegas. He's done work in Shanghai. He did some lighting and production for one of the side parties for the Olympics. Like, this guy has gone big. He's seen a lot of big stuff. He's production, he's lighting. He's anyone that's like hanging from a ceiling, that's like doing everything safely. He's just like anything production he can do.
Yeah.
So his energy coming back is something that's just really cool. You know, he's already looking to open a whole different bar, a new venue. But not only that, like, he's also partnering and connecting with so many different current business owners and saying, hey, can we up-level your production? Hey, do you want to add a venue space here? Hey, do you want to have live music? Let's talk. So he's someone that I'm really excited about and is bringing a whole different big city energy into what Corpus is, which is already it's a big city that's realizing our potential.
I think a lot of people are just, they want certain things, they have ideas for certain things, but it's kind of like, but I don't want to do it.
Right.
Like, I want
Talk-
someone else to
talk
do
the
it.
talk,
I want it
yeah.
to show up. Like, we can talk about other stuff besides downtown. I saw this post recently in Port A where they're building like this 3-story tall brewery.
Heck yeah.
And the renderings look amazing.
Awesome.
You're like, that's going to be somewhere downtown. I mean, somewhere here nearby.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool when you see these things. And so for other people that just kind of wish it, you're actually going to see the people that are like, no, let's do it.
Making it happen.
There's a term I used to see a while back. It was called brain drain. And it was showing different cities where they have a really high intelligence, a real big class of people that are graduating there,
Cool.
but then leaving. So
Yeah.
it's like a brain drain. They're taking all the brains out
That's
and
the
they're putting them somewhere
expats.
else.
You wanna bring them
Yeah,
back.
exactly. So,
Right.
but it's nice that there's some people that have gone out. I'm going to take this back home
Right.
because I know the opportunities are there. Maybe it's less competition. Is that
Right.
really what they're telling you?
I don't know if it's less competition. Them coming back is less competition.
Well, necessarily, like, say you're in San Antonio,
Right.
there's probably more people that are up to say, hey, I got the cash, I got the idea, I want to do this, compared to here, people are like, I got ideas, but maybe I don't have the money.
I think I just feel a lot of energy coming to the city. I'm more intuitive. So I feel a lot of energy. I see a lot of more buzz. There's a lot more meetings of people trying to come downtown.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's that they're like Corpus Christi doesn't have the competition. I think they're just like, this is the hidden gem. COVID shook up a lot of stuff. People are working remotely. They're like, let's live by the beach. People from California are moving out.
Sure.
Like there's just so much movement right now. So I think that people that are trying to grasp that opportunity are seeing that opportunity in Corpus. So I hope that answered your question.
No, it did.
Yeah.
And to touch on that, prior to COVID, I really felt, I'm not sure if other people have mentioned this to you, there was a momentum. It was happening. They were having festivals
Right.
and shutting things down,
Right.
and all these annual ones like the St. Patrick's Day Festival. They're
Right.
getting bigger,
Yep.
and they're closing down more streets. It was like, this is amazing. It felt like maybe twice a month there was an actual festival downtown,
Right.
and then COVID kind of shut it all down. It was the last festival we went to. We set up shop, and we were sponsoring it. It was a beer festival, and it was huge. And then it was like literally a week later,
It's
St.
coming
Patrick's
back.
Day. Oh, yeah?
It's coming back.
Who mentioned that? Someone mentioned
Is
that.
it by the Art Center? That
Yeah.
Beer Fest? Yeah, so it's coming back.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got-
Noises Brewing actually mentioned that. He wants to know if he wants to be
Yeah,
sponsored. Oh,
Brendan
cool.
and
I'll have to get with
Krista.
you. Okay. Yeah, I forgot they just got that text. I have him saved as
You're the
Noises.
information guy. You like someone, you get all the information.
I have ADD, so it's in there. I just got to find a way to get it. But it's nice to see this momentum come back again.
Yeah.
With things going on.
Right.
And I think everyone's kind of, because last summer and last spring, where people were just coming off the, are we good? Are we good?
Is
to do
everything
stuff?
okay, guys?
Is everything back to normal
Everyone back?
schedule?
Right.
And now I feel like it is back to normal schedule,
Right.
and it's given the opportunity for other people to go, let's do something. Let's do
Right.
something. Even with, the market being what it is and quote recession, I think people are still that made money during that time or the last couple of years are like, all right, now what are we going to do with
Let's
it?
do it again. I also too, speaking, like I'm an event producer. That's what I've been doing for over 10 years. And COVID was so hard on a lot of people being told that you're not essential, right? So like the event industry got destroyed. We couldn't have a bunch of people. We couldn't bring people together other than like digitally, virtually.
Yeah,
And
yeah, comedians doing stand-up online.
Yeah, well, that was actually pretty good. I mean, I'm thinking
mind
of, what was his name? Oh my God, I just blanked on one.
Like a famous comedian?
I digress.
A local?
I'm gonna
It's
jump
okay.
out.
Hey, that's what the show's about.
That's what digressing. No, back to the events. Yeah, so I think what I'm saying is it's just hard. You're used to putting on these big events, these big shows. You get shut down for 2-3 years, and then coming back, it is kind of like nerve-wracking. Is this okay? Can I do this again?
Yeah.
It's a big project. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of connections. It's a lot of food trucks, vendors, photographers. Like you're working with a lot of people, and it's already kind of a high-stress, high-demand job. But I am so proud to see and say that a lot of these festivals are coming back. So the
Yeah.
CC Beer Festival is happening on June 3rd, Saturday. It's taking over the entire...
Oh, that's why I put it to the back of my hard drive. June 4th is my anniversary. I'll be doing
Awesome.
my marathon in San Diego. That's
So
why
you won't be here for the
So I
Beer
saw it
Fest.
and I was like, damn.
Aw.
And there's another thing, Endurance Fest, right?
Yep, same day across the street, basically on Water's Edge Park. So those events and festivals are coming back. And I've only been here for a year, and I came from El Paso, Texas, where there were some events happening. But I'm just so blown away by how many event producers there are here, and how many like well-established events there are. Like the St. Patty's Day Festival, I went to that. That was freaking awesome.
The art walk every month
Surftoberfest
is nice.
Yeah, we do art walk, so that's one of our projects that we put on, and that in itself is already growing. So we during the holidays.
There's an urban legend that Dusty started art walk. Is that true?
I actually don't know the answer to that. No. Actually, from what I know, our finance manager, Alan, who's this guy that moved here from Scotland, started the art walk. But it started off with like a tent. It was art walk downtown. He was with the DMD. It was a tent, and he was like, let's go check out the different galleries. And it started just like being like a gallery hop, and then it went and got crazy, had road closures, had
I heard this
vendors.
last one. We didn't get to go. I had full intentions to. I got to Saratoga, and I said, I'm really hungry. We ate. I got full and didn't go. But I saw several people that went downtown. I guess this one in March, the
Right,
first one.
right.
And they had a really great time. They had a lot of stages set up,
Right.
just different bands that were there, different
Right.
musicians, stuff like that. So do you do a lot of the musicians too? Do you
Yeah,
help with them?
so that's something that's definitely been in our goal for this year. When I first came here, it was like a lot of tents, a lot of vendors, and that was awesome. A lot of businesses opening up their storefronts, doing extended hours, and doing gallery openings. So it was cool. A lot of brick and mortar, a lot of pop-up vendors. And one of the things that I noticed was there was definitely live music, of course, like House of Rock. Is this
I was like,
downtown?
what is that? No, I was like, where's that?
This is great.
It's Ocean Drive.
Squirrel.
Sorry, we're looking at houses on the YouTube. It doesn't matter. Go ahead.
A lot of the venues, House of Rock, The Exchange, Surf Club, and People Street, they were doing the music, and I was like, we've got to open up for more. Like let's bring on more stages. Let's bring on more variety of stages. Like what are the themes for each stage? So what we're doing this year is growing the we already have grown the closures a little bit. We're now including Chaparral. We have some other plans in the works, but we're trying to activate more, not only live music, but also like, what about performance art? What about like artists on the street?
Yeah.
So that's very much insider
When you say
scoop,
artists on the street, do you
but-
mean like New Orleans, where people are just allowed to set up shop and start performing, or something different?
Yeah, pop-up artists are one thing, but also like you have like a concrete canvas. So what you do is you just tape off a big giant square on the concrete and allow them to do like chalking or some kind of painting.
Like they did with those meter boxes downtown.
Yeah, that's
I think
the
they
electric
kinda-
box.
electric
Yeah.
box, yeah.
Those are permanent. So those are, I guess you call them semi-permanent because they could be damaged or whatever.
Yeah.
But the ones that I'm thinking for Art Walk, it's like, how do we just bring in local artists, allow them to showcase their work, obviously allow them to sell some of their stuff, but then have people actually like watching them paint the streets.
Sure.
So that's
Well,
a
I'm
whole
seeing
different
more of the murals downtown and stuff too. How do you get permission to do that? Like,
permission. Oh God, that's
I'm like, I want to make a mural.
yeah. Well, you can just
It'd just be a big billboard, buy it and sell the House of Gino Montalvo. I'm sure they have to go through a certain
you are
process.
like you are literally jumping from different projects that we're doing, so you're hitting like every mark.
Cool.
But a part of Art Walk's taken off and it's going great, and it happens every month, every first Friday. Mural Festival is a festival we just launched last year. When I first signed on, that was the first festival that I was a part of. They'd already been planning it, but I just helped to execute it. And what we did there was we brought on 5 national artist groups, muralists, and they painted different walls that we had solidified. Obviously, we had to talk to the property owners. We can't just go and paint a random wall.
Like,
You're
what the hell?
You're like, hey,
there's a spaceman on my building.
who did that and who approved it? Why are we talking that accent? No, so yeah, there's a lot of work behind it, behind the scenes. You know,
we're from radio. We know.
we get to make up different accents. We should change the accents every 5 minutes. No, yeah. So it's a lot of behind the scenes work. A lot of talking to the property owners, saying, "Hey, we have a vision. We love the location of this wall. It's not only we try to target walls that have a little bit of blight, that need to be kind of have a facelift. We target walls that are a high visual wall, like if you're driving in from the north or south, that people can see. And we're also trying to kind of find those walls that are Instagrammable, that people can actually walk up to, immerse themselves into. Maybe it's more of like a not experiential, but a engaging mural where you can actually do some stuff. For example,
you want to say it?
What? What's the word?
They want the butterfly wings where they can go stand next to it,
or
like
the
this.
I love you too. Like that one's super simple, not really a mural, but art like that. People want to touch it. They want to feel it. They want to like immerse themselves
I
in
saw
it.
it. Took a picture. I posted it. Yeah. I got you.
Share it.
I have a question for
Sure.
anybody that maybe hears this and thinks, okay, well, I have an idea. And then I'll kind of ask by saying this. Armando, who runs the CC Run After Dark.
Yep.
When I first went down there and I saw all these people, I was like, bro, that's amazing. You have all these people that come. But then I
Right.
realized he's partnered up with y'all. How did that come about? Did he reach out to y'all? Did y'all reach out to him? Or how'd that work?
So actually, from what I know, it's actually Lucy's. Jessica and her brother own Lucy's snack shop, and they were like, it was during COVID, and they're like, what can we do? We need to bring people. We're all just it's gonna be bad. Like the businesses, we need to help. So they actually came up with the idea of doing a run club, being outside, promoting like healthy lifestyle and fitness. So they started it.
Keeping a distance, yeah.
Right. We had Downtown Run Club going. It was pretty small at first. It was during COVID. And then Armando came in, was kind of like doing his run club on the side, growing his. His was all over the city.
Yeah.
Then he was like, hey, there's a Downtown Run Club. Let's bring our run club there. And then very recently, we just appointed him our chair of the Downtown Run Club.
Oh, sweet.
We're like, you're the man. You're the man. So like, bring your peeps. Let's party. Tell us what you want from us. We have a very like behind the scenes, like, we provide this, you provide that kind of thing, because he is the guy he's walking the walk, right? He's running the run.
He's doing really good on the marketing and the posting, and the promoting of
partnerships.
And I would say the last few weeks, for anybody that wants to run downtown, the weather's beautiful.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
The sun, it starts 6:30, and this is not me promoting, the run club, but it's just cool to see these different things.
Right.
And I never thought I'd be a guy in a run club. Like, it's weird to me. Like, dorks. Like, that's all I saw it at first, but it's actually, you're not running with people. My wife went for the first time 2 weeks ago. She's like, are we going to be like having to, I'm like, no, babe, everyone's going to go run. They'll be behind us.
You
in
can
front
walk
of us.
club.
We'll
You
just
can walk
do whatever
if
you
you
want.
want.
It's just kind of getting that start that people need sometimes. And so the reason I asked that question is maybe someone has an idea similar.
Right.
Who do they reach out to?
If they want to do some kind of a programming or an event initiative, they can reach out to me, and then I have to kind of hear them out. What's your idea? What's your concept?
Like if someone to do like yoga in the park.
Love.
I'm sure there's
Please.
a rooftop we can go do that.
Please, yeah.
Oh, what do you know about the Chamberlain place? I haven't got to see that place yet.
So Chamberlain's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's in Uptown, so it's right on our boundary. It's outside of our boundary technically, but I don't know too much about it.
I guess
other
the
than,
idea of it is what I'm asking. Is like,
say it again?
I said the idea of it because you mentioned a while ago one of these places is going to have like a rooftop bar.
Right.
There's so many rooftops. Like, why
Right.
don't we have more now? Like,
Right.
it's just a roof. Like, you got a roof? Cool, let's go on the roof. But the people don't do that. Why?
I speak from my own personal experience on the Chamberlain, not on behalf of the DMD. So
Yeah.
let's just start with that, right?
ahead.
But what I have seen is the Chamberlain has renovated that building. They had a really high standard of design for that building.
Sure. You can
And
tell just in the photos.
100%. And it's a family-owned business. It's a family that's putting it together. And I'm so proud of them because they went, and everyone kind of looked at them and was like, why are they doing this high-end thing but with a bunch of office spaces, right? And then the rooftop is just kind of this like beautiful rooftop.
Sure.
I'm a believer in you build it and they will come. And I think it seems very obvious that they are too.
Yeah.
So they built that. They have these beautiful office spaces. They actually just signed an agreement, a contract with someone that's actually Pape Dawson Engineers, just kind of came in.
Sweet.
So beautiful office spaces, beautiful views. And then right now the rooftop is, you can reserve it for a private event. You can reserve it for a private mixer. But you can also too, it's just like, it's more for the people that are actually in that building too, just to go up and like maximize their, like, this is an amenity for my building.
Well,
like I
we've
get to
looked
work
into
here.
it to like rent it for different events, and it seems pretty reasonable in what you get and what
Right.
it is and what it offers, especially
Right.
on beautiful weather.
Right.
Is there going to be more stuff like that pretty soon?
Rooftop
sounds
stuff?
like it. Yeah, rooftop stuff.
Rooftop
We need
stuff.
more rooftop
ooh,
stuff.
Ooh, retro. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Retro.
The old Aria. So the old
Freddie.
Aria,
Yeah.
I saw that recently. There's a new sign. I actually got, we're not married there, but we had our what's it called? The party reception.
What's the party?
The party after the
My
wedding.
wife's gonna be like, oh Jesus.
The party after I do. Yeah, we had our reception there. Me and my wife actually met there 14 years ago, and so we thought it was fitting that we go back there for the reception. We had a blast. So it's nice to see that building come back, and they have a rooftop. Which
They're
is really
doing
nice.
amazing stuff in
so
there.
what's the plan there? What details you can share with us?
I've heard about it, and I just popped in today for the first time. So this is crazy that we're having this conversation. For starters, I don't know too much about Freddie, but what I've heard about Freddie is he's making stuff happen, and
Yeah.
he's really great.
That's
So
what I've
he's a
heard,
real estate guru. So they took over that building, and they've been renovating it pretty aggressively for like months. Like they're moving fast.
Yeah.
I walked in. The first floor is gorgeous, high ceilings, exposed concrete walls. Right now, from what I'm seeing, they have a beautiful. I don't know if I can say this information. I don't want to tell all their secrets. They've got.
There's like 2 people that are going to listen to this, so it's good.
That's not true. If Freddie's going to be one of them and be like, bro, you just gave all my secrets away. No, they have a beautiful installation above their bar. So it's a bar and an arcade and a rooftop, cool, like access area. Right now
cool.
it's looking at being different things. But beautiful over the bar structure that you guys will see that celebrates
So
Corpus
is
Christi.
it straight video games, or is it more like a Dave and Buster's?
I wouldn't say Dave & Buster's because that would just be, I mean, no disrespect. I love me some D&Bs.
I guess what I'm saying is it food, or is it mostly gonna like a little like adults?
I would say it's high-end bar, definitely arcade. I don't know the answer about who they're trying to have in. I think that there might be
Are
something.
kids allowed?
Are kids allowed? I don't know the answers. Let's get Freddie on here. Freddie, can we phone a friend?
Yeah, actually, that'd be. Can I,
Bring in Freddie. I gave you his number.
well, if you give me a list of people, that'd be great.
Freddie.
Yeah, Freddie. Freddie's on
Noe.
top of the list. Okay.
Freddie Noe.
Cool. What's something for anybody listening? What's something you think that we need downtown to where people aren't stepping into that niche?
I just like keeping it local for sure. Or giving the local guys an opportunity to pop up first.
Sure.
That's a great question. We kind of already got a bodega. We're starting to get like hybrid, not hybrid, but produce just popped up a
Yeah,
bodega.
that's a cool little spot.
That's a really great question. More activity, more movement. Can I think about it? Let me think. Can I ask you what you want to see first?
Sure. I want to see Chris and Gino Steakhouse.
Of course, it's
Only
on the
open
list.
on Wednesdays. Wednesdays.
You've been thinking about this for a while.
It's just that I'm a really big meat snob, and so been lucky enough to visit a lot of different steakhouses all over the world where I'm like, this is the way I like it.
High end?
Yeah, I would
Wine
say.
pairings? Whiskey?
I'm more of a whiskey guy than I am wine.
Cool.
So it can be whatever people's choice is. I want it to be known for the steak. I want to be known for the steak and the
Right.
pastas, and
Right.
then, maybe like a steak / Italian. So that way it's nothing huge. It's not. anything crazy, but have the steakhouse and then like a lounge upstairs where
Right.
adults after work or maybe a date night or like like a special place.
Yeah, special occasions
Like
kind of location, for sure.
The special date night kind of place, not
Right.
the everyday. Like it's going to be expensive.
Right.
I just know it has to be expensive.
Yeah,
It
I love it.
needs to be, and people are like, oh, okay, cool. But that's kind of what I would want, and I
Right.
would like to be the person that does it. So if anybody else takes my idea, I'll kill them. But that's what
already
I
out
would.
there.
That's what I would want. That's Chris, by the way.
Hi, Chris.
He makes good.
By the way.
He's like, what? That's what I would want. I think it'd be cool to see more residential stuff.
Sure.
Obviously I'm in real estate, so if I could sell some residential condos
Right.
down by the water,
Right.
That'd be great. Right now, there's not really a lot of options
Right.
that people are looking into, and so I see these spaces and I see these empty parking lots and I see all these different things, and that's why one, I want to have you on here, and two, I personally, and I talked to Chris about this last night. I personally want to make it a mission going forward. I've done tons of residential stuff.
Cool.
I would like to dive into the commercial world a little bit more.
Awesome.
Just because I know, like I said, I'm one of those people. It's like, I wish we had this. It's like, well, dude,
Yeah, do it.
somebody's got to do it,
Yeah.
or at least figure it out, and then reach the people that are out there
Connector, yeah.
who are like, I had no idea I could get that kind of real estate for that price. Let's talk.
Right.
That's what I want.
Yeah. First of all, steakhouse. I'm in. Let's do it. And I would also recommend for anyone who's looking at any business coming downtown, start the conversation sooner than you think, because it is a process for you.
Sure.
Especially if you're building the brand. There's so much work that goes into it. There's so much visualization that you have to do. And even too, if in your mind right now, you're like, I want a 2-story, I want this, and you start looking for it, it takes time for that to pop up in downtown. And even too, you're like, I want this, but then you start to go tour different businesses, and you might get steered and guided to a bigger,
Something
better
else.
thing. So start the conversation and do the tours before you even think you need to do it.
What are some of the buildings you've had to take a tour? You've gotten the chance to take a tour in that you were surprised by, either condition or just uniqueness.
Retro was awesome. That's not my department. That's not my mission element. So that's more the economic development world with Ginny and Krista. And they're the funnest people to work with.
What do you mean that's their...
They're the economic development team. So they're the ones that are taking the business owners, the potential investors, the
To the
developers,
locations.
to the locations.
But
to
you
do
don't
the
even
walkthrough.
tag along? You never just
I
like
don't-
poked your head
I'm
into
busy at
buildings?
work. I'm over here doing like
Breathing
marketing and
some
events.
asbestos?
I'm just
No?
sitting, taking naps at my desk,
Okay.
No, but Retro was really, I was impressed by just the size, because on the outside it looks like one whole thing, and then on the inside it was just so grand. It was 2 stories. They have an entire ceiling that's like acrylic ceiling where you can actually see up
Oh,
into
really?
the arcade. Like, I was just blown away by the interiors based
Hold
on.
up. Like, there's a ceiling. People are walking on that part?
Don't wear a skirt,
Don't wear a
ladies, or a
dress.
dress. Don't wear a skirt or a dress. I know what your mind was going
I'm so
there.
immature. Why is it the first thing I thought of? Was like,
And
look up,
I could totally tell you you're thinking that, but it's more just to kind of see people movement, and
Yeah.
you can see the games up there. Yeah, don't wear a skirt or a dress,
Okay.
or make sure you're.
Sure, no
I'm talking to you,
dress.
Gino. No dresses.
You got it.
But I was impressed by that, and then other than that, I mean, I haven't done too many walkthroughs. Oh, the Ritz Theater.
Yeah. What's up with that? I feel like it goes in waves.
It's
And-
kind of on a big wave right now. So the Ritz, when I first got here, we did a tour, and they activate it like during Dia de los Muertos. They do a really
Yeah.
cool altar and stuff like that. And there's a organization, a 501c3, that's called CC Patch, and they have done like haunted houses in there, and they're part of the renovation. I mean, they helped with the roof renovation and just kind of keeping it alive. But right now, they literally, within the last year, they have hired on a new executive director. Her name is Cheryl Voetsmeyer. She's on our board, the DMD board, and she is just on fire. Like, she is outstanding. She's moving things along. They've already got a new architect to come in and do the new, design work.
What's the plan? What's the end game?
What's the end game is to renovate the Ritz
But
Theater.
I mean, like, is it going to be a theater with movies or a theater with shows, plays, musicians?
Still in the works, but yes.
Maybe like have you ever been
opportunity.
to Majestic Theater in San Antonio?
I
Something
don't know the
similar
answer to that. We should. I'll write Cheryl.
No,
on the
but have you
list.
ever been to Majestic Theater in San Antonio?
I haven't.
So Majestic Theater in San Antonio, I'm not sure what street it is on downtown, but very similar old classic theater
Beautiful.
where they do like rock shows sometimes. They do comedy shows.
Cool.
I remember when I was younger, I saw Chris Rock there, the Gypsy Kings, like just different people
Awesome.
that come and go for that kind of vibe. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
This is my own personal, like, I would like to go see a concert there, but it's all done up.
So I actually, in El Paso, Texas, there's a theater called the Plaza Theater, and I was there at the tail end of a renovation for the Plaza Theater, and it's like a $30 to $40 million renovation. It's no joke. It's actually, the Ritz Theater is a sister theater to the Plaza, so I saw the work that went into it. I saw the time that went into it. It was like over a 10-year renovation project. So I know Cheryl is moving quickly. She's bringing in an architect, or she's already confirmed the architect. And I think part of the whole thing with bringing in the architect is saying, okay, how big is the stage? How wide is the stage? How deep is the stage? What kind of shows can we bring in? What kind of shows can we not bring in?
Yeah, are these speakers going to make the building fall apart?
No, I mean, that's the thing.
Shake
It's
it
like
down.
everything architectural is going to be, you have to be structural. You have to
Yeah.
be safe before you do anything.
I'm
So
sure.
in her planning phases, in her concept design, I'm sure she's kind of having more targeted stuff, but I can't speak on behalf of her by any means. But she's a really good person that's in the city. So I don't see her thinking anything smaller than what you're thinking, you know?
Does your boundary cover the courthouse?
It does not. Is it north of I-37?
Well, you know the courthouse is at?
Is it north of
The
I-37?
old- it's on there. It's right by the Burger King.
I
I'm
don't-
not sure what
yeah.
direction. Not a sailor. I don't know. It's right.
I'm not a sailor.
It's over there. What are they doing with that? Have you heard anything about that?
I have not heard anything about that.
I know
That's
it's like protected and it's just a
Right.
big old eyesore.
historic,
but it seems,
historic buildings are always tricky. Again, not my realm, but I've heard people saying, "What are we doing with it? What are we doing with it?"
well, I saw they filmed an episode of The Last of Us. Have you seen that? They filmed it at the. I'm kidding.
That's awesome.
No, I'm totally joking.
Oh,
it's
I
like
don't
a
know.
zombie show.
No, I'm
Like,
super naive.
everybody's-
Please don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool.
No. Okay, so you don't cover that. What else? So as far back, I'm trying to see your boundaries. That way I can ask you questions. I'm thinking, I'm looking at a
You
map.
passed my boundaries.
I'm
You
thinking,
crossed my
like,
boundaries.
Can she talk about that?
Talk about maybe events. No,
You tell me.
Beer Fest?
This is your show.
Okay, going back to like what do I want to see? The T heads, the L head. That's something
Yeah.
that's foreign to me. I'm not from originally like a beach city or a bay
Okay.
city, right? So, I mean, where are the cool? I mean, we've got Harrison's Landing. We've got the Texas Tees. It's like a new cruise ship that
Yeah.
takes you out, and it's up to 50 people. You can book a party. Like, there's some things happening on the water. But I'm looking
Is
like
there availability to buy retail space
that's what
or
I'm
do anything
saying.
down there?
That's what I'm saying. It's like I don't know enough information about that, but if I was a potential investor, I'd
know
be
what
like,
you should do?
let's lock into a space there.
Banana stand.
What's bananas? Let's fight it.
Have you ever seen Arrested Development, the show with Jason Bateman? There's this banana stand they have where they basically have like chocolate dipped bananas. It's like an ongoing joke. Sorry, it doesn't make sense.
I missed it. Just
But
right
yeah, it's like even just like a little raspa or just like something. Are
even
you
the
allowed to
beach.
set those
How do
up?
you activate the beach? Are there umbrellas that are always there? Is there
Yeah.
a pop-up taco truck? Is there a freaking snow cone truck or a bar? Like how can we activate that beachfront a lot more? How can we? Is there?
I would say
sand
right there.
volleyball?
So we were running the other day on Ocean, or I guess it's Shoreline Ocean, and right in between where the Commodore's condos are, and then there's a Holiday Inn. There's this huge lot, and it's available space. And you just think how much could go in there,
Right.
And what does it take to do that?
Right.
Is it money? Is it ideas? Is it just conviction of someone saying, "Hey, I'll be the guy. I'm gonna go do it."
It's honestly, I think it's a tie in all of those pieces. But again, that's more. We need to bring in like Jenny and Alyssa for that.
I know. I wanted to ask you. Maybe you know about this. Is there incentives for people that are building downtown?
100%.
Is they're saying, "Hey, come by X building,
Right.
and you're gonna get a rebate or whatever you want to call
Yeah,
it."
so we have the TERS number 3, which is it's a tax increment reinvestment zone. It was created by the city, the county, us, and who's the not TMUCC? Who's the other university? Del Mar.
Uh-huh.
And it basically is an incentive for any business owners, investors, developers. They have access to certain grants.
Really?
So you're saying, okay, I want to do this historic building, but it's going to cost me more because there's so many loopholes, or there's just so much going on with historic
Sure.
buildings. There's actually like specific grants to help you with your
Those
historic
costs.
building. Yes, there's like a slew of all these different grants. That's part of what our team does.
When you say grants, and if you maybe you know, maybe you don't, is it like
Incentives.
Here's $100, or is it like
You know,
here's a couple?
it's not just like
hundred?
we pass out checks, we cut checks. Like you have
Yeah.
to submit what your design is, you have to submit what your plan is, you have to fall into one of the different grants that they have and make sure it makes sense. You have to definitely like dot all your I's, cross all your T's.
So is it?
But our team helps you with that.
Does it have to be like? Can it be an idea I have, or is it only for certain like shops, only type of retail?
No, it's open for anyone.
Really?
Any even if they're in an existing business downtown right now, if they're a new business, they want to do a grocery store, a library, a toilet room. I don't know.
It's a toilet room.
I don't know. I was just saying anything. They can come and access our team, and our team says, hey, we're going to help you kind of find this property for you, and we're going to connect you with the right
is it any
grants.
of those properties, or is there a list like, hey, this property, this property, this property?
Anything within the TERS boundary. So
TERS.
my team operates out of the Marina Arts District for promotions, but the TERS boundary is a lot larger. It goes into Uptown. It goes further north, goes further south than we
Yeah.
do. And so anyone that's in that boundary, anything in that boundary can activate those grants.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is there access online where people can go and talk to somebody or look up the maps?
Go
Or
to
does
our
it have anything
website,
like that?
godowntowncc.com,
Okay.
or contact Ginny or Krista.
Let's get that stuff out of the way. So
Yeah,
downtowncc.com is y'all's website. What are y'all's handles on social?
Oh God, I should know this. It's Downtown. It's just Downtown Corpus Christi
Downtown Corpus
on
Christi.
Instagram, and
That's what
Downtown
it is on
Corpus Christi
Instagram.
on
Facebook?
Facebook.
Do y'all
yeah.
only have Instagram and Facebook?
Instagram, Facebook. We're in the works with TikTok.
Cool. TikTok's fun. It's a
Yeah.
little different.
Right.
I talk about that quite a bit just because it's one of my favorites to waste time on.
Right.
But it's definitely one of those things to where if you have, like, visit Corpus Christi. Do you know those people?
Yep. We partner
So
with them a
they've been
lot.
doing really, really well lately with different promotional videos on just different things that I'm like, share, just because it
Yeah,
looks really
they're
great.
good content,
And so
right.
stuff like that is fun, especially, I would say for y'all, maybe more like behind the scenes stuff with
Cool.
TikTok. That's
We
what
can do
people,
that.
I think the more real stuff you can put on TikTok,
Right,
the
yeah.
farther the reach is. It doesn't have to be so polished like the way Instagram is all
Right.
the time. I feel like Facebook's kind of just like casual. Instagram's more polished,
Right.
unless you do reels, and then TikTok's just like who knows? You never
Right.
know what you're gonna get. Like
We have a YouTube, we have a LinkedIn as well, and everyone touches different people, right? And
Yeah.
everyone has different message style. Like LinkedIn, yeah, it's like what job opportunities are available, or what, the
here's
state of
me in a tie.
Yeah. Well, like State of Downtown. Like State of Downtown was an event that we brought all of our stakeholders to.
You said save downtown.
State of
State.
Downtown, like
Oh,
State
yeah,
of the
yeah,
City,
yeah. I saw
State of
that
the
recently.
Union, State of
Yeah,
the.
that was the one. Yvonne was leading that, right? I
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
that.
She supported us and helping to produce that event. She was outstanding. But State of Downtown was something that was more targeted towards our advisory council, the people that are the property owners, and it was basically just giving them like our annual report. This is everything that's happened. This is how many graffiti tags we've abated in this year.
Really?
This is how many businesses that have come. This is how many planters that we've replanted. Like just dropping a bunch of numbers. This is how many people we reached on our marketing channels. Like that was just a big thing. So getting that information out too is like kind of like a LinkedIn more push. It's a YouTube push, if you will. But we have so much going on. There is a lot of different mission elements. Everyone that's in every manager and team that's in each mission element is honestly, they feel like that job is a calling for them. So that's why I think we're moving a lot more quickly and
Yeah.
efficiently. It's just because we have so much passion and pride behind what we do, and organically and just with the timing of everything, like there's just a lot of people coming in.
Good.
So it's been fun.
Well, like I said, we're reaching that point where people are going, all right, it's time. It's okay
Right.
to go back out and do what we wanted to do. We put it off long enough. You've been here since when? Last year? May. So you're almost coming up on a year.
Almost. Yeah.
In that year, was there anything at the very beginning that you were hoping to accomplish that you got to? Are still working on?
Let's see.
Just personally.
Oh God. Well, personally for me, it's work because I like. to
It
work.
sounds like it, yeah. So that's why that's very curious. Like, hey, I'm going to make sure I tackle this, or I'm going to work on this.
I wanted to grow the team first, and we have 3 amazing interns that are TMUCC, all graphic designers. Like the TMUCC graphic design department is one of the top in the nation,
Yeah.
like literally 7 in the nation, if not
Very cool.
6.
Really?
And an assistant. I have an amazing assistant who graduated TMUCC. So growing the team was something that was big because you can't do a lot of stuff without your capacity and without the people that are helping you make it
I agree.
become a thing. So growing the team was step 1. Now that we have the capacity, expanding Art Walk. Because when I first came, it was all like, oh, Art Walk's one of our biggest things. This is really cool. And it is a beautiful event and it brings a lot of people. But I was like, where's the art on the streets? Where's the music on that stuff? So we've touched on that before. So that was one of my elements. But other than that, I mean, personally, I just want to be able to kind of go and experience new things and see different things happen. Like I also too, I have a really big passion about business development.
Mm-hmm.
I owned my own company for 3 years.
What'd you
More than 3 years during COVID. So that was terrifying.
What was it?
I did marketing and events.
Sweet.
So that was really fun.
During
right?
COVID.
Exactly.
So was it all Zooms?
No, so I actually connected with people who were open to the face-to-face.
Yeah.
That's more my style. And I started connecting with people who were like, okay, we can't do events, but I fell really quickly into business developers, real estate gurus. So I had to pivot. I had to segue. Like I was not going to be able to thrive in that as my own business. So I became basically someone to help launch businesses. So yeah, my passion basically fell into just watching these investors, these real estate developers and business owners start from what's the concept? What do I want to see? What's the vision? Okay, what's the space? What are we actually making happen? And I can empathize with them because I do that for events every single time. What's the concept? What's going to happen? What are we doing? What's producing? Who do we need? Who's the team? So then I quickly had to pivot, found these people, and I was like, I want to help you through this process. It's a high-stress process. You're still visualizing. You're still putting pieces together. Let me help you put those pieces together. Let me help you connect with the people you need to connect with. So to answer your question directly about like what am I trying to do, I love the marketing and events that are happening in downtown, and I love being a part of driving that and connecting certain people to that space. But I would love to see and potentially get more supportive on people who are coming to downtown, like helping them piece together their vision, because it's not easy to do.
If I can pause you right there, last night when I mentioned you were coming on the podcast and I was talking to my cousin Chris. So Chris has been doing real estate for like almost 20 years.
Awesome.
He got licensed at 18. He's a broker at 20. He's done everything, right?
Awesome.
And so he does a lot more commercial, a little more development stuff too. And when I brought up commercial, he said something that kind of you remind me of. He said the thing about commercial, and he's like, I think you would do really well, is that you are selling a vision. You're selling a dream. You're selling an idea. You're not just saying, hey, this is a pretty house, right? You like it? Cool, move in. Hey, this is going to be a long process. And you mentioned that a while ago too. Start now, because it's going to take a little bit to get everything in order. It don't happen overnight. If it does, maybe it'll work, but most of the time I don't think it would. It has to be really developed and thought out. Hey, this is what we're trying to do. Is it going to make sense?
Right.
Or are we just, what are we doing here? Because sadly, I hate it, and I'm sure you hate it, when you see a business spend the time, spend the money, open up this business, be it a restaurant, be it whatever.
Right.
And then you pass by one day, you're like, weird, it's Tuesday at 3 o'clock.
And they're not open.
Is that place open? Then you go to Google, it's like permanently closed. You're like, damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
They spent all this time and money.
Right.
Was it planning that failed them? Was it just not listening to people?
Adapting. Yeah. So that's tough and that's hard, especially coming off of COVID. You can't be insensitive to that. A lot of people got destroyed that had nothing, that wasn't in their control. But post-COVID, or not post-COVID, where we're at now, anyone who starts a business or launches anything, there's so much risk involved, and you have to be flexible. You have to be adaptive. So for example, okay, I want to do a coffee shop, and I want to do, or a sandwich shop, and I want it to be open from this time to this time. I want to have it here. I'm seeing this vision, but you have the plan, you execute, you open, and the world's not working with you. What do? Well, my crowd's coming actually later than I thought, but I wanted to be home by 7. You have to, you got to adapt. So, and that's, I don't want to seem insensitive, because it really is someone putting their entire...
That's the reality, and like you mentioned a while ago, the reality of owning a small business.
Right.
You're going to have to adapt to whatever you need to adapt to for a while, until you're able to delegate things off to somebody else.
100%. And even too, just the expectations of owning a business or launching a business is, let's do it. Let's just start making money. Let's go. Like I have this, whatever. But it's terrifying. It's terrifying. You're putting your ideas, you're putting your authentic self in front of everyone, hoping that they accept it. You're having to adapt. You're having to move. You're having to work your butt off. Yeah. And then find ways to maximize profit and live your life at the same time.
And really think, do people want this?
Right.
Are people going to give a shit?
Right. You have to be tough. You have to be resilient. You don't go in year 2 and be like, I have to give up now. That's the wrong time to give up. Coming from someone who dropped their business after 3 years, it's kind of funny. But I mean, it's just something that your expectations can be exciting and you want to have this vision, but you got to really be realistic about how much effort you really have to put in to make that, to launch your ship, to launch your rocket, and then keep putting gas in the rocket. You have to keep putting energy to it. You have to adapt, change seasonally. If you're the same thing over and over, your menu never changes. What's new? So it's you launch it. That's the hardest, like it's a really hard part. Your first 3 years, you got to kind of fine tune your staffing. You got to figure out your hours. You got to figure out your financials, figure out your revenue, all the fun stuff. And all the stuff that you have to do everything as a business owner. You have to figure out your taxes. You have to do your financials. You have to hire the people. You have to fire the people. You're doing it all. It's terrifying, but is it worth it in the end? If you do it right and you adapt and you connect with the right people,
sure.
I think so.
Well, with that, I would like to say thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
Emily, you bring a lot to the table. This is Gino's table.
Yeah.
And so appreciate you coming in. If you can, grab one of these Sharpies real quick.
I will.
This will be on YouTube, Spotify.
Cool.
We're going to put all the links to, is it a sparkle one? Yeah. We're going to put all the links to all your different socials and all the different websites. I would love to pick your brain a little bit more when you have time.
Cool.
And I'm thankful you came in today. I know this was like last minute for you.
It was
I
super
literally
cool.
said, you're like, what are we talking about? I was like, I don't know.
We'll find out.
I think we did great. We covered a lot of information.
Right.
And I'm excited about a lot of stuff you mentioned. So thank you for, kind of let us get a sneak peek of what's happening downtown for those of us that don't either go down enough or want to. It's like, oh, I didn't know that was happening. Right. That's really cool. So
I just think thanks so much for having me, and it kind of, I believe in timing, so we ran into each other for a reason, and the information needs to get out. There's so much happening in downtown. If you haven't been downtown, go during an art walk, go for dinner, just check it out, and then make sure you're asking the right questions to the right people too. Like check your references, your sources, but it's just really good energy, and the city's been really great. So I'm happy to be here and happy to.
Welcome to Corpus.
Yeah. Thanks.
Happy almost 1 year.
Cool. Yeah.
Thank you, Emily.
Bye, guys.